With the midterms a little over a year away, we know two things for sure. They will be hugely important, and Donald Trump is already planning to sway the result.
This is going to be an interesting experiment because it is possible, given the con man that Donald Trump is, it is certainly possible that he can sell working class Americans on the notion that they are not paying all this more for this product or that product or everything else coming from around the world. And this budget, even though it gives a major, major tax break to the rich, is actually good for them. But I'm not sure. It's going to be very hard to sell these things. And if the Democrats are smart enough and bold enough and clear enough and loud enough, they ought to be able to show and demonstrate to the working Americans that they are being shafted twice over by Donald Trump.
One of the saddest lessons of history is this: if we've been bamboozled long enough, we tend to reject any evidence of the bamboozle. We're no longer interested in finding out the truth. The bamboozle has captured us. It's simply too painful to acknowledge, even to ourselves, that we've been taken. Once you give a charlatan power over you, you almost never give it back. Do you think that speaks to what percentage of his base?
Yeah, Stephanie, I got to tell you, nothing makes me more sad than the fact that his base has become a cult, and they will believe everything he says, and I engage with them, and I'll put Trump's lies in front of them.
Yeah.
But you know, here's what I've realized over the years. The fact that Trump's a corrupt, dishonest, lawless, horrible human being, like that's a feature for a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They've told me that's what draws a lot of them to him.
Yeah.
They like the fact that he's a bad person. Yeah. I don't think the rest of us Democrats sufficiently get that. Like, that's why a lot of them love him.
Yeah. That's crazy. It's, you know what, as we've talked about too, Joe, why you left your party, because it's not just him, it's this whole party. It's the cowardice of the. Just one example. Zasper says another example of Republicans lacking any morals or citizen care. Not one word about them, about Trump taking $1 billion taxpayer dollars to redo his gifted Cutter plane that he plans to keep for himself. Just imagine their reaction if Biden or Obama had done it. I mean, the grift is just off the charts, right? And you know, they ran on cutting waste, fraud, and abuse, and it's just, I don't even know what to say about that anymore, right? And he took money from upgrading our nuclear silos, right?
So back in the old Joe Walsh days, when even though you and I liked each other, you hated everything I did and said.
I hated everything about you.
I was friends with all of the Freedom Caucus guys and the Tea Party guys in Congress. And the minute, Stephanie, that the Tea Party, and we can argue about the Tea Party over alcohol one night,
sure,
but the minute the Tea Party became MAGA, that's when I left.
Yeah.
But all of my former colleagues, they stayed on. And the reason is simple, because if you left like I did, you lost everything.
Yeah.
Your life, you blew up your life. And Jim Jordan and the rest of these guys, they didn't want that to happen. They want to keep the job. They want to keep the radio show, the ratings, the voters.
Yeah.
And so they sold out everything they believed in to stay with Trump.
Yeah. Yeah. And now you've only got me, your sugar mama, to support you.
Now I go on your show every now and then. That's all I've got, Steph. My God.
But, you know, it's just, there's so many examples. Say one more for you. Rob says Nixon wasn't forced to resign because of the cover-up. He was forced to resign because all Americans got their news from one of 3 nightly news broadcasts and one local newspaper, all of which had truly independent newsrooms that didn't hesitate to speak truth to power. I mean, these information bubbles we live in now, Joe, like you just described MAGA and what they believe. I mean, do we, even after Trump, how do we ever get out of here?
Yeah, we all live in different worlds now, because you're right, we all get our media from different sources. And you, Stephanie Miller, and the average Sean Hannity listener, you live on 2 freaking different planets. Yeah. Look, I'm still a libertarian at heart, and I don't want the government to come in and say, these are news sources and you can't trust these, and we're going to get rid of Hannity because he lies. So I honestly don't know what the answer and the solution is, But I'll say this again, Stephanie. I've been saying this now for 7 years. Donald Trump's greatest legacy is the destruction of truth.
Yeah.
We've got almost half the country utterly untethered to truth. That's our biggest problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I look forward to going back to arguing with you about the things that you're very, very wrong about once we save our country together. But I swear to God, I feel like your whole party has turned into, I don't know whether it's cowards or sociopaths. This Congressman Randy Fine said, to be clear, the Trump Thump Act will also allow you to run over BLM, Antifa, illegal immigrants, and anyone else who intentionally blocks roads. Trump Thump. Is he a sociopath, or just is the cruelty the point with everybody in your former party now?
Well, Steph, here's what's happened. Look, Donald Trump is a psychopath. Yeah. He's a pathological liar. But the scary thing is he's succeeded. We've elected him twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
He tried to overthrow an American election, Stephanie Miller, and we reelected him. And you're Randy Fine, you're another Republican official out there who 5, 6, 7 years ago, you didn't really like Trump, but you're watching this. He's doing everything bad. He lies. He's openly corrupt, and yet he's being rewarded. Heck, I'm going to be like him. So what's happened is all these Republican elected officials have decided, I'm going to be like Trump. So now they're radicalized and they lie and they're openly cruel. Listen to Christine Noem, my former colleague, for like 5 minutes if you can.
Aye.
Every word out of her mouth is utterly cruel. But she does that because she knows it worked for Trump. I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Are we going to be able to come back from all of this?
Yeah.
To a normal state.
Well, if
in,
we
in
can,
America.
it starts with me and Joe Walsh.
Well,
I think that's what Yeah.
Joe's been on the MAGA side.
Yeah,
so
I know. Well, that's what we're talking about.
Well, the ticket to save America would be Stephanie Miller at the top of the ticket.
Yeah, of course.
Is her VP.
As long as you know I'm
But
always
Chris,
on top.
to answer your question, no. This Republican Party ain't never coming back.
Okay.
No effing
Yeah,
way. Not
yeah.
in my lifetime. I don't think it's ever coming back. It is now. When I came out against Trump 7 years ago, every Republican colleague of mine in the House called me privately and said, Joe, I agree with everything you're saying about Trump, but I can't say it publicly. Now, they don't even say that to me privately because we've elected a bunch of mini Trumps.
Yeah.
So that party, Chris, is never, a sane Republican party is never coming back.
Did Joe Walsh just admit to being my power bottom? I think he did.
Stop it! Oh my God!
He just offered to be the
God.
bottom of the ticket. Okay.
Do I have a
Bottom
buzzer
of the
over
ticket.
here?
No, I have one. Joe,
Yeah, you do.